And a spokesperson said that...
Kakwenza Rukirabashaija says this is the price he paid for criticising Uganda's ruling family. He says his ordeal began in December when soldiers broke into his house, beat him, tied him and blindfolded him before driving him to a military barracks.
I don't know what they were using to beat me in the back, either a hippopotamus whip or a wire, something that really gets into the skin. It was very painful, excruciating pain.
He was detained for 4 weeks. He says he saw and heard several other prisoners being tortured too, including one man whose skin was repeatedly burned with an iron. He says the interrogations were brutal.
Getting pliers, they start plucking flesh from my thighs, all of this.
He believes he was arrested because of the 2 books he's published. The first was a satirical critique of Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni, and he says he was detained and tortured for it 2 years ago. He described what happened in the second book. The Ugandan government denies running torture chambers.
This matter is being investigated by government within the security circles. But it's not true for him to say that people who are detained in Uganda are tortured. It is not true to say that there is no freedom of speech in Uganda.
President Museveni has ruled Uganda for 36 years. His regime has faced growing accusations of rights abuses. It's his son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, that Kakwenza blames for his detention and torture. Muhoozi denies it and says he's never met Kakwenza. But Kakwenza says Muhoozi saw him 3 times during his detention, forced him to apologise, made threats and offered him money to take his books offline and stop writing.
And that is when I met General Muhoozi for the 3rd time, and he was like, he wanted to be sure whether if I am released, I am not going to write another book about my torture.
Kakwenza was taken to court last month and charged with insulting the ruling family. The court kept his passport, but he fled to Germany, where he says he plans to write another book documenting what happened to him.
They have the money, they have the guns, but they touch the wrong button. They joke with the power of a pen. According to the X-ray.
He says he's so traumatised he can barely sleep for more than an hour before being woken by nightmares. He says he'll seek medical treatment in Germany, but plans to return to Uganda and continue writing. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera.